Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy BirdCrown88 coming at the YouTube video, and today EA has an update or a patch that happened at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be down for about an hour, so if you're watching this video right when it drops, it's still down, and if you're watching this video later in the afternoon, then it's most likely back up. But essentially, courtesy of Fasto, who got a snapshot of the update before the page went down, we know what's coming to the updates. We have gameplay, which is just addressing a couple issues with a little bit of the gameplay and the goalie improvements. And then we have Bia Pro fixes and we have World of Chell fixes. This is right here. If you want to pause it, you can check that out. That is essentially what's going to be happening with Bia Pro, World of Chell, and a little bit of gameplay stuff. The goalie logic is something that I like seeing. Goalies being better is always a great thing. But that's not what we want to talk about. What I want to talk about is what happens to HUT, right? We get quality of life changes with several quality of life improvements were made to lineup combinations, sets, and navigations. So I'll be curious to see what all that is because it's very vague. And then we also get bug fixes to fix stability in the crashing of Cup Chase. That one is crucial. That one's a big fix for people that play a lot of Cup Chase. Crashing has been an issue. So thank God that might help them out because it sucks crashing in your playoffs, right? So if you need to win the game and you crash, that's a pretty tough feeling. And losing a Cup Chase run because of it would suck. So that is really good on that fix. Also visual stability or visual stuff for jerseys and logos and stuff like that. Sure, we got Seattle, we got the Wild, we got the Ducks and the Kings all getting a little bit of jersey and uniform fixes. But the main one, the one that we want to talk about is multi-captains. You now can have the ability of having multiple captains on your team, which means, you know, season 1 captains, you should be able to put in your lineup for season 2. They just won't do any boosts, but you'll still be able to play them. A massive improvement for people that wanted to go build Connor McDavid, but didn't know if they would be able to use him in season 2, right? Now you know. You can go build McDavid safely with the ability to use him, other captains, and have McDavid on your team in season 2 as just a regular card. So if you can't get your hands on the 85 McDavid, because he's priced too high or he's hard to pull, you can build them with a couple 83s and a couple 82s. But with that whole being said, all of that being said about multi-captains, it has brought in the question of what is this going to look like for team builds? And people are like, oh, people are just going to build all the captains and we're going to have the same teams. So I wanted to have some fun. This is merely just for fun, guys. This is not a, hey, go build this team unless you like what you see. But I built a team that I think's pretty decent, and it utilizes pretty much captains on every single line except the top line, which gives you the +6, because, I mean, you got to have that in there. So let's get into it and see what you think. First of all, I'm going to get rid of me, so I'm not in your way, so we can really look at this team and enjoy it. You're going to notice that this team has $104.6 million in salary. We will be getting to that in a second, because I had to give this team a little bit of a boost, which you'll see how I did it while still using captains. But we've got the Jack Eichel, we got the Sidney Crosby, and we had to use Marchinkin, Maccelli, sorry, because we couldn't get the Nyes in. The Nyes was too much money unless we dropped the Eichel down and we got the Nyes in that way. But either way, you either have to have the base Eichel or the Maccelli to make this line work. If you want to do this exact team, remember, you can mess around with it a little bit. But with that being said, no captains. So it's like, what? I thought this was a captain team. Oh, hold your jets. It's a captain team. We've got Cale Makar with Roman Josi. Roman Josi is not going to be our captain that we get our AP activated on, right? We have to pick one captain, and I'm going to pick Alexander Ovechkin, and I'll kind of show you why when we get down there. But Roman Josi with Cale Makar is a combo people like, and now they get to do it and still have other captains. Going to the second line, we have Zibanejad with Miller and Brady Tkachuk for +1 overall. That gives you an 87, 86, and an 86 team or second line. Again, they have quick release, and unstoppable, and then unstoppable captain and tape to tape. So this is actually a decent second line that you can build up of all captains. But again, it's a $18 million line or a $19 million line. Like there's better you can do than this. So like with that being said, even though you can put a bunch of different captains on your team, this is probably not a line you're going to do. Now, you could pair up Zibanejad with like a McDavid and get +1, or pair Zibanejad up with Joe Sakic and Pasternak and still get McDavid on another line. There is things like that. I just wanted to do the over-the-top every single captain we could get on our team and still have a playable team. So this is one of them, but you're not doing this lineup, in my opinion. Well, that also being said, we got a good usage of Zach Werenski getting the +1 overall with Drew Doughty. Chances are you would be just using Heiskanen here with somebody to pair together with Heiskanen. If you're going to go a double defensive captain situation, you're going to go Heiskanen over Doughty. But if you got the Werenski, get the Doughty, pair them up, +1. That's not a bad pairing there. But again, that's a $14 million pairing. On to the third line. Here is your McDavid line. This is a +1 overall. McDavid, Leo Carlsson, and Alexander Ovechkin. Again, this is just a gross usage of all the captain cards. That's all this is. I can't stress this enough. This was just because people are saying, oh, great, everyone's going to build a bunch of captains. I just wanted to have fun putting together a team of just getting as many captains as I can, still activating the captain boost and all that. So here it is. Don't overreact. I'm not telling people to go build this team, but like this is what a captain team looks like. And I'm really not worried about people building this team. But we've got Ovechkin with Carlsson and McDavid. Again, this is a $16 million line, probably not a line you're running. And if you did, you'd probably pull out Carlsson and figure something else out, right? Like you're probably not doing that. If anything, like maybe I don't know. But this isn't the line you're running. But a line you could potentially run while having a McDavid and a Josi on your team is our third pairing defenseman. This is where the flexibility of having your captains comes in. You can get Josi Makar, you can get McDavid on like that Lindros Gardner line, and then you can also get McAvoy with Chara. Flexibility, creativity, and cards you can build, right? Because you can build Makar and Josi, you can build McAvoy and Chara, you can build Gardner, Lindros, and McDavid now. So those are 7 cards you can get on your team that you can build that can all get on there. So that's pretty good, and I like that. But now that we've seen the top 9 forwards and the top and all the D, what's the goalie situation like? And what is that bottom pairing like? Because there's some captains missing. And as you can see down on the very bottom, we're getting a $5 million salary off of 3 captains. So, I mean, you can build a salary boost if this is something you would do, but that'd be very expensive. And that's going to be Connor Bedard, Marco Rossi, and Andres Lee. Again, not a line you were going to do, boys, but just with the patch coming out, I just wanted to mess with it, right? That's all it is. So we got this line up here where you get $5 million in bonus with Bedard, Rossi, and Lee. And then in net, obviously, you're not using the Paul Coffey combination because you're using all the captains. So we're going to put Frederik Andersen in net with Calvin Pickard as the backup, giving a +3 for an 87 overall. But again, guys, this was just for fun. People talking about the captains and, you know, everybody's just going to go do all the captains now that we can build them. This just gives options is essentially what this is, right? This just shows you options. One, you can get Josi and Makar and also get McAvoy and Chara. You can do Doughty and Werenski. You could also throw up McDavid. It's just all options. Because at the end of the day, what I realistically think we are going to see is the +6 line, the McDavid line, where you get Lindros and Gardner, and then you get Solani with Roenick and Bedard, and then you get the money line on the bottom with your goaltending and your D pairing. I do not think this D pairing here is going to be a thing. I think it's going to be Coffey and Anderson, and then your goalie pairing will just be like Rene and Raycroft. But this is more or less what I see on people's teams happening going forward, where you're still spending the $103 million, but you have $110 million. So that gives you the option to improve your team in the category of like Matthew Nyes on the first line with that +6 and Saad on that third line with Roenick and Solani. And then that fourth line is still your money saver, which if you needed money, you drop Lee. But this is more or less the team that I think we would see, where it's not like over the top aggressive with captains, but you're getting McDavid with Lindros and Gardner. But remember, guys, like this McDavid's just easier to acquire. It's not really a big difference from this McDavid and base McDavid. So like the only real massive perk here is you get 2 defensemen on your D that can boost up Chara and Makar, making a good D core here and still having McDavid on your line. It just makes all these cards buildable and easy to acquire. But this is a team you would probably see more of than anything with the new captain thing. You're going to see Josi with Makar, you're going to see McAvoy with Chara, and you're going to see McDavid, Lindros, and Gardner. But if we seen this team, if this was the team we seen right here, would we be able to activate a captain? Would we? That'd be the thing. Can we get 5 AP off of one of these captains? Well, we've got Minnesota. We've got Chicago twice. We got Nashville once. We got Calgary once. And we got Nashville and Colorado. So you would activate Josi on this team and be able to power this team up. This is actually a really good squad. I'm not going to lie. When I look at this team, this is a very nasty squad where you can use a couple of these captains that you can build easily and you still get the coffee line. Like this is a pretty gross team in my opinion, actually. Did we just accidentally build a nasty team? Hey, let's go to that. But guys, give it a big old thumbs up if you like the video. Leave in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on being able to use multi-captains? Because in my opinion, what it really allows you to do is go out and build Connor McDavid with the safety of understanding when Season 2 comes out, you can use Connor McDavid's captain card and you're not stuck with the base or paying the base price. You can actually get the card. Options and the availability to get cards is always a good thing, guys. Leave it in the comment section down below what you think. But thank you for watching this video. Until next time, ciao, ciao.